So we talked a little bit about the key players, and now we're going to talk about the timeline. We already went over some of this, but we're going to go into it in a little bit more depth so you know exactly what happens and what to expect. So the dual pre-approval is first. You're going to talk with your lender and get dual pre-approved. This will allow you to shop the traditional way. It will also allow you to shop the Makeover Mortgage way. Then you're going to go house shopping with the Makeover Preferred Realtor. These guys know what kinds of houses to look for. They know how to steer you in the right direction to not only find a house that you love, but find a house that's going to fit the process. They're then going to get the house under contract for you. There is some specific language that the realtors need to use in order to make sure we have enough time to put our project together and to give you the ability to back out of the house if need be. And then interchangeably, the home inspector and the HUD consultant will stop by. The home inspector is going to show you what's going on with that house. They're going to crawl around in the basement, crawl around in the crawl space, maybe in the attic, and then they could need to put together an FHA minimums list for you if you're going to be using an FHA product. These guys give us the bare minimum on what the house is going to need before you move in. The HUD consultant then walks through the house with you. You guys put together the scope of work. He'll take some photos and prepare a packet to send to the contractor so that they've got a head start on your project. You then meet with the contractor. That contractor is going to walk the project with you one more time and put together an actual bid to tell you what your project will cost. The home will then be appraised using that renovation. When we have our appraisals done, you take the current house and you add the renovation to it. And that appraisal is going to be done based on that project being done already. And then the last step is we get the loan closed and we get the renovation started. All right, guys, so now it's time to work with a Makeover Preferred Lender and get that dual pre-approval. It's very, very important that you work with a lender who knows what they're doing. Everyone on our Makeover Preferred lending team knows what they're doing, has done renovation loans in the past, is very well educated, and can get the job done. If you do any kind of searching elsewhere, you'll definitely find that most lenders out there don't like doing renovation loans, and they'll either try to talk you out of it or send you to somebody in their department that may or may not know how to do it either. So working with a Makeover Preferred Lender is super important. So what are they going to do that's a little bit different? You're going to get dual pre-approved. Gives you two different ways to shop. So the traditional pre-approval is just like anybody else has gotten in the past. You're going to go shopping for a house, find something, make an offer, close, and it's yours. So if you want to shop that way and you find a house that's already there and it's already what you want, then go ahead and make the purchase. But you also get Makeover Mortgage pre-qualified. This gives you the ability to shop using a renovation. So now when you're out shopping, you can kind of get creative. If there's a house that's pretty close to what you're going for, but it just needs some updating, or it's pretty close, but you really want to have that garage or screened-in porch or whatever it might be, now you can make an offer because you are dual pre-approved. So you're already ready to go to purchase that house using a renovation. You can go ahead and make an offer and move on to the next step. So you've been pre-qualified, and now it's time to go shopping. We've already got you introduced to a Makeover Preferred Realtor. You've already sat down, talked to them. They've learned a little bit about what you're looking for, what kind of house you need, what all the extras, the wants, the wishes, all the above are. And what they're going to do is they're going to put together a list of homes for you to go check out. You can check out some of the homes that are already done, ready to go. They've already got the 4 bedrooms. They've already got the 2.5 baths, but maybe it's not quite in the right location. It's already got the 4 bedrooms. Maybe it's only got 1.5 baths, but it's in a great spot. It's really hard to find the exact house that you want, but every once in a while they're out there. So when you're shopping with the Makeover Mortgage Process, you always have that option. If that house lays itself right in front of you, go for it. However, with our realtors, they're also going to set up some makeover options. So when shopping for a makeover home, you've got to really pay attention to the numbers. You can't just go buy any house and add to it whatever you'd like. You've got to pay attention to the comps around that house. You've got to pay attention to the area that it's in. You've got to pay attention to what the asking price is at that point. And you also have to kind of be able to project and see what could this house turn into. So maybe they find you a house that is almost the right square footage, But with an addition on the back end with a master suite, if you will, that 3-bed, 2-bath just became a 4-bed, 3-bath, and it's in the location that you really want. So now you get to go house shopping both ways. You get to shop the traditional way, like everybody else, but you also get to shop the makeover way and get creative with it. And when you shop with a Makeover Realtor, they're really, really good at helping you find those, starter kits, a starter home, if you will, that can turn into that house that you're really looking for. Okay, so now you found the house that you want, and it's time to get it under contract, to make that offer. This is when a Makeover Realtor is very, very important. Not only do we need to make that offer subject to a couple different things, but we need to have a little bit more time than usual. So rather than your traditional week to 2 weeks of an inspection period, we need at least 3, depending on the size of the project, maybe 4 if it's going to be a really big project. So a Makeover Preferred Realtor knows how to write this offer to give you enough time. We need enough time for the home inspector to come in, check everything out, and let us know what those minimums might look like. We need time for a HUD consultant to swing by, walk the property with you, take photos, put together a scope of work, and then we need you to walk it one more time with the contractor, who's going to be the one that actually throws the measuring tape out and figures out exactly what you're going to need and what that project's going to cost. So we need a little bit more time to put together these deals. Typically, the houses that we find, they've been on the market a little longer than some of the others, so it's not a huge deal for the most part, but we need to keep in mind that sellers want to sell their house. So we don't want to drag this process out for weeks and weeks and weeks. We really need to get it done nice and fast. But that being said, it does take a little extra time to get all of those pieces to the puzzle put together. So when you make that offer, this is another reason why working with a Makeover Preferred Realtor is helpful, is they know how to make that offer with the correct terminology and with the correct terms so that we have plenty of time to get our project set up. All right, so you've got your house and you've got your purchase agreement signed. The next step is the home inspection period. Within the first 2 to 5 days, if possible, we would love to have that home inspector in the home, in the crawl space, walking around on the roof, and giving that thing a good look. The home inspector's job is to basically figure out what the base status is. What's the current condition of that home? What that's going to do is that's going to tell us all of the extra things. Maybe you wanted to redo the kitchen and a bathroom, but he tells us that the roof's a little too old. Or he tells us that the foundation may be sagging a little bit and needs some work. What that home inspector is going to do is let us know all of those things that maybe aren't so fun that need fixed. He's going to give us that list. On top of that, if you're working with an FHA loan, there are additional minimums that have to be met. So that home inspector can come up with an FHA minimum standard list, and this is a list of things that can be given to your contractor that will have to be done in order to close your loan. So the home inspector's job is basically to get us started. He starts that scope of work for us, lets us know all of the things that we maybe didn't want to have to do a reno on, but turns out we need to introduce those into the bid as well. So the home inspection period is very, very important. We need to have it nice and fast, and from there, we can go into the next step.